working to connect a region of over 600 cultural bridges between our lands.
Hello and welcome to ASEAN in Focus. I'm Maricar Velasco, delivering to you the latest news in and around the ASEAN region. On today's headlines. The International Criminal Court on Thursday said it has no jurisdiction on the complaint of former Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario and former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales, alleging that Chinese President Xi Jinping and other Chinese officials have committed crimes against humanity over Beijing's activities in the South China Sea. The International Fund for Agricultural Development, or IFAD, and ASEAN Secretariat have launched a measurable action for haze-free sustainable land management in Southeast Asia program to reduce transboundary haze pollution and its impacts in Southeast Asia. Esports took a step into the sporting mainstream on Thursday as it made its debut at the Southeast Asian Games, becoming a medal event for the first time at an Olympic-recognized multi-sport competition. The International Criminal Court on Thursday said it has no jurisdiction of the complaint of former Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario and former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales, alleging that Chinese President Xi Jinping and other Chinese officials have committed crimes against humanity over Beijing's activities in the South China Sea. Del Rosario Morales, along with other Filipino fishermen in March 2019, accused Xi and some Chinese officials as accountable for crimes against humanity over China's activities within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone in the South China Sea and for depriving Filipino fishermen of food and livelihood. The communication also alleged that China engaged in massive illegal reclamation and artificial island building in the Spratly Islands, as well as tolerated illegal and harmful fishing practices by Chinese nationals in the area, which they claimed not only violated the law of the sea, but gave rise to crimes against humanity. In its report dated December 5, Bensouda's office pointed out that China is not a state party to the Rome Statute. Accordingly, the ICC lacks personal jurisdiction. However, Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario said in a statement that ICC's ruling was not a dismissal, saying their camp is providing new facts and evidence to bolster the case. President Rodrigo Duterte on Thursday pledged to build about 2,000 shelters to relocate families living along foreshores areas in Albay province following the onslaught of Typhoon Tisoy, international name Kamuri. Duterte made this commitment after Albay governmental Al Francis Bichara bared that several houses along the coastline have been heavily damaged by the typhoon. Acknowledging how the Bicol region is among the most disaster-prone areas, the president said he commiserated with Bicolanos who bore the brunt of the typhoon's wrath.
Apparently, you are condemned to suffer this kind of crisis every now and then. You know, even before the climate change, which made it really worse.
Interior and Local Government Secretary Eduardo Año, meanwhile, suggested to implement no-build zones along coastal areas. More than 2 billion pesos worth of crops in 5 regions were damaged due to Typhoon Tisoy. In its 6 a.m. update on Friday, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council said crop damage reached 2,096,564,965.50 pesos in the Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol, and Eastern Visayas regions. The report, signed and released by NDRRMC Executive Director Ricardo Halad, said damaged were rice, corn, and high-value crop plantations, as well as fishery, livestock, and agriculture infrastructure. Houses damaged by Tisoy were placed at 78,691, of which 10,765 were destroyed, and 67,9,000 67,935 were damaged in Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol, and Eastern Visayas and Caraga. The number of schools damaged was placed at 2,193, and these were recorded in the Cordillera, Caraga, Ilocos, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol, Western Visayas, and Eastern Visayas regions. 3 men have been jailed for human trafficking after smuggling 3 Vietnamese teenagers and a young man into Britain from France, police said Thursday. The sentencing comes after 39 Vietnamese migrants, 31 males and 8 females, were found dead in a refrigerated truck in Essex, east of London in October. Hundreds of migrants try to enter Britain every year through the channel. Christian King and Henry Dunn, both 38, were given 9-year sentences by a judge at Snaresbrook Crown Court in East London, while James Davis, 31, was jailed for 4.5 years. King from Worcester Park in southwest London denied conspiracy to facilitate unlawful entry into Britain, but was found guilty at a trial. Dunn from Sevenoaks, southeast England, was found guilty of the same charge after a retrial and of involvement in the activities of an organized crime network. Davis from New Malden, southwest London, pleaded guilty to both charges. Detective Superintendent Neil Ballard from London's Metropolitan Police said the convictions followed cooperation with British Coast Guard and Customs and their French counterparts. He said the victims of this crime were young, vulnerable males who were trafficked through Europe to the beaches of France, where they were put onto an inflatable boat, adding the boat traveled to the coast of the United Kingdom in the cover of winter night, putting the vulnerable victims in an extremely frightening and dangerous situation. Ballard said the judge said the migrants' lives were ruthlessly placed in jeopardy by the trio's desire to make money from misery. Stay tuned, ASEAN in Focus. We'll be right back.
Visiting the Philippines, Manila or Quezon City is a popular destination. But oftentimes the hustle and bustle of the city can be more stressful on your vacation. So when you feel the need to reconnect to nature or relax again, there's a beautiful oasis just outside of the city called the Garden at Ciudad de Victoria. That you can see here include hydrangea, snapdragon, and stargazers. They're truly beautiful. The gardens at Ciudad de Victoria are so peaceful, tranquil, and beautiful that it's become a haven for young couples and a very popular venue for engagement photos. The next time you want an escape from the big city, the garden at Ciudad de Victoria is a wonderful place to visit.
Welcome back. The International Fund for Agricultural Development and ASEAN Secretariat have launched a measurable action for haze-free sustainable land management in Southeast Asia program to reduce transboundary haze pollution and its impacts in Southeast Asia. It is estimated that haze pollution affects the health of 50 million people in the region. IFAD is granting $3.5 million to ASEAN towards financing the program. The ASEAN Secretariat, the Center for International Forestry Research, and the Global Environment Center will jointly implement the regional program. The program is a follow-up to the GEF4-IFAD ASEAN Peatland Forest Projects 2009 to 2014 and aims to support ASEAN member states to achieve the goals of the ASEAN Peatland Management Strategy, the key targets of the ASEAN Program on Sustainable Management of Peatland Ecosystems, and support the implementation of the ASEAN Haze-Free Roadmap. In close collaboration with ASEAN member states, the program aims to assist and facilitate the collection and analysis of land management and haze-related information to predict, monitor, and prevent fires and haze. It will also strengthen the ASEAN regional coordination mechanisms for advancing sustainable land management, haze prevention policies, programs, and projects through the establishment of a regional multi-stakeholder platform and mobilize increased flow of financial and human resources for haze-free programs and projects. A three-day training to understand and implement the latest version of ISO IEC 17025-2017 general requirements for the competence of testing and calibration laboratories is currently being held from the 3rd to the 5th of December in Bandar Seri Begawan, Brunei Darussalam. ISO IEC 17025 is an international quality management system standard specifically for laboratories. It outlines the controls required to manage risk and tools to help the laboratory improve its operations and customer satisfaction. The training provides a forum to better understand and interpret the requirements of the ISO IEC 17025-2017 standard. In addition to highlighting the standard's new and changed requirements, the training also aims to provide information and clarification on relevant requirements and to share experiences in assessing the laboratory's implementation of the new standard. A total of 20 participants from the national accreditation bodies and national standards bodies of Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, Laos PDR, and Myanmar are attending the training. Supported by the Physikalische Techniks Bundesrat (PTB) Germany, the training is included in the 2019 to 2021 ASEAN Consultative Committee on Standards and Quality (PTB) project. Singapore unveils a new mosquito breeding facility that will help the city-state step up its fight against dengue fever and other mosquito-borne diseases. The facility's automated devices will allow researchers to boost breeding of mosquitoes carrying Wolbachia, a bacteria which reduces the insect's ability to spread viruses.
In Singapore, we know that if we are serious about confronting climate change and other challenges, dengue control cannot simply be just business as usual. We cannot do just more of the same. The boost in production capacity at this new facility will be achieved through the incorporation of automated technologies, such as larvae and pupae counters, high throughput larvae rearing systems, and I like to call this a sex mosquito sex sorter. It's actually male-female mosquito sorters.
ASEAN in Focus will return. Stay tuned.
At the famous pyramids of Giza. Stay tuned to watch Digital Net every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Reporting from EBC Egypt Bureau, I'm Zara Angeles Valdez, and I am 1 with 25.
Hey
guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave some love by giving it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe here at ABC Digital Nest so you don't miss any of our upcoming features.
Events happen around us all the time, in our community, in our country, around the world. Events that affect people, move communities, or simply inspire us. Interesting events that people need to know. In these interesting times, we continue to be a competent partner in delivering news about these events. Fast, accurate, balanced, eagle news, because we live in interesting times.
Esports took a step into the sporting mainstream on Thursday as it made its debut at the Southeast Asian Games, becoming a medal event for the first time at an Olympic-recognized multi-sport competition.
2 and 1.
This represents progress for video gaming, which was a demonstration sport at last year's Asian Games, but has been left off the program for the next edition in 2022. Players from 9 countries are competing over 6 days for medals in Mobile Legends, Arena Valor, Dota 2, StarCraft 2, Tekken 7, and Hearthstone. At an opening ceremony at the 5,500 capacity San Juan Arena, local Mayor Francis Zamora said this is a very historic day because for the first time, esports will be played in the Southeast Asian Games.
So this is a sport of the minds, and this is the first time also our esport athletes are educated that they have to go to doping where they have not experienced it before. And they're now part of this multi-sport event like any other sport that they have to go to this process of becoming a national team.
Naintindihan naman namin yung mga ganun, lalo na sa mga magulang na tingin nila na sira buhay ng anak nila dahil sa mga video games. Yung mga ganun talaga na sinasayang lang yung oras. Tapos meron naman talagang may future sa paglalaro.
The Philippines polished off a clean sweep of obstacle course gold medals at the Southeast Asian Games on Friday with wins in the men's and women's 5-kilometer category. Mervin Guarte and Sandy Abahan jumped, swung, and clambered their way to victory in the 20-obstacle race in Manila, completing a 6 out of 6 haul for the home team in the event's SEA Games debut. Philippine racers Sherwin Manahil and Glorian Merisco took both silvers in the outdoor event at Philinvest City, which included a balance beam, tilting ladder, monkey bar, and a slip wall covered in water. About 8,750 athletes and officials are taking part in the regional Olympics spread across dozens of venues in the northern Philippines, which was hit by a deadly typhoon earlier this week. The marathon kicked off the athletes program at the Games main hub in New Clark City, where Filipino runner Christine Haliasgo caused a major upset by edging countrywoman Mary Joy Taba to take gold. Haliasgo pulled away in the final stretch to beat the reigning SEA Games champion by 2 minutes in 2 hours, 56 minutes and 56 seconds. Indonesian Prayogo Agus won the men's race with a time of 2 hours, 26 minutes and 48 seconds, ahead of Thailand's Mamket Sanchai, 2 hours, 27 minutes and 18 seconds, and Malaysia's Mohamed Muhaizar, 2 hours, 33 minutes and 8 seconds. Haliasgo pulled away in the final stretch to beat the reigning SEA Games champion by 2 minutes in 2 hours, 56 minutes and 56 seconds. Philippines weightlifter Cristel Macoron claimed a tearful Southeast Asian Games gold medal as the regional Olympics got back into full swing on Wednesday, a day after being battered by a deadly typhoon. Macrohon posed alongside her inspiration Olympic silver medalist Heidelin Diaz after winning the women's 71-kilogram category in Manila in front of cheering Filipino fans. Through a translator, 23-year-old Macrohon said, quote, "It was an inspiration from her watching Heidelin win, referring to Diaz's 55-kilogram victory on Monday. She added that she was very happy to have contributed to the medal haul of weightlifting, as it is a really important moment in weightlifting for the Philippines. Home favorite world champion gymnast Carlos Yulo was aiming for 7 golds overall, but on Wednesday came second in 3 events, taking his tally to 2 golds and 5 silvers. Vietnam swimmer Nguyen Hue Hoang broke the Southeast Asian Games record en route to winning the gold medal in the men's 1,500-meter freestyle at the new Clark City Aquatic Center. Hoang broke the SEA Games record, which was set by him in Malaysia 2 years ago. Hoang clocked the best time of 114 minutes 58.14 seconds, which was a new SEA Games record, and over 17 seconds faster than the Indonesian runner-up Afla Prawira. Vietnam's and Hoang's teammate Nguyen Hu Kim Son won the bronze with the timing of 14 minutes 58.14 seconds. Hoang booked a place in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics as well. Earlier on Wednesday, Hoang took gold and broke the SEA Games record in the men's 400-meter freestyle event with a time of 3 minutes and 49.8 seconds. And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Maricar Velasco and I am 1 with 25.